Andrew had a whole diatribe about Mein Kampf last time we had this question.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
This sucks.
Welcome to hell. Devil's Advocate pits lawyer against lawyer in a battle royale to answer the age-old question, who's better at arguing? The rules of the game are, we spin the wheel of misfortune to decide on a topic. Once a topic has been selected, the advocates must answer a set of polarizing questions. When they disagree, the game begins. Each advocate must argue their side, but here's the devilish twist. They must argue for the side they did not select. Let the depravity commence.
All right, everybody, and welcome to Devil's Advocate. Today we have on a lawyer versus a non-lawyer. We've got on Chris Dreyer of Rankings against Bob Simon of a bunch of stuff. I mean, Bob, you probably get a better intro than I do, but you have I feel like I see you everywhere doing everything, but Justice Team and doing like stuff with Attorney Share and probably a bunch of other things that I don't know about.
Mardi Gras,
all of the above.
Video game. We do a weird shit, man.
What, you say video games?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait, what are you doing with video games?
So we have a company that's essentially digitizing Dungeons and Dragons, but it's its own separate game, but it takes all the BS out of creating the role playing. So that's it. You didn't know that? Yes.
I did not know that. No.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's extremely, like, how would I know that? Legal specific and out there, but I feel like
Chris,
that's the best
Chris,
kind.
yeah.
Let's spin the wheel. Get ready for some ridiculous questions. Yeah, okay, let's see. Random. Okay, other legal. Sex work should be legal.
No.
Should marijuana be legalized nationwide?
Yes.
Is the death penalty an effective deterrent against serious crimes?
Nope.
No. I didn't want to argue that one. Why?
Should AI be allowed to make legal decisions?
Yes.
Yes.
Are current intellectual property laws too restrictive or not restrictive enough?
Too restrictive.
We're going to agree on all these. Too restrictive.
They suck. Okay, we're going to the next one. We're spinning the wheel again. Yeah, I actually can't.
The first
one's-
episode,
Oh,
they
it's
agree
other.
on everything.
Ooh, let's eat business. That's a good one. AI can handle the entire pre-lit process for simple personal injury matters.
Agree.
Agree.
That would be a tough one to argue, I think.
Yeah.
Personal injury mastermind or Bourbon approved?
Oh, I mean, Bourbon approve. I mean,
Personal injury mastermind.
Okay, so now you have to argue for the other person.
So yeah, you go on Bourbon approved, you get a glass of bourbon. You don't get that at Pim. Pim's boring. You have fun conversations while you're a little lit. It's also stuffy, talking about people's egos and how much money they make. It's it's a light conversation where we have a lot of fun.
yeah, and with Personal Injury Mastermind, you're pulling the nation's best talent nationwide from marketing to being a lawyer. So you get more of the spectrum than Bourbon Approved does. Also, the hosts of Bourbon Approved, you can tell how many they filmed that day because they're so drunk, they're slurring their words at the end, and nobody wants that kind of content. And with the master behind Personal Injury Mastermind, being Chris Dreyer, he gets that content everywhere in front of everyone using his SEO flip.
We still going?
You can go, or you could be done.
I'm good. We'll keep going.
Next one, reading business books is a great way to learn business strategies.
Yes.
No.
Oh, nice.
So you don't learn through books. You learn through experience. You got to do the hard things. Most of the people that write books haven't even built a business themselves, or at least a big business. Pass it to you, Bob.
I mean, I think books written by the authors that write the books are some of the most successful business persons ever. And why not digest their mind? And they're usually getting vetted by publishers to make sure that book's going to sell. So they're going to make sure that content is there and it sticks. And I think, with the advancement of artificial intelligence, you can download all these books into a PDF and then have one master think tank of how the best in the business do everything. So that's why I'm a huge believer in business self-help books.
Yeah, so that's kind of my point, right? They're in it to make money on these business books. So a lot of times it's motivational, David Goggins style, hitting that big TAM, maybe not the technical details to really move the needle. And they really go into the granular. Most of them are just high level motivation, mental values, and things like that to move the needle.
Well, yeah, I mean, the issue is like a lot of these folks that write the books usually have a coaching class with a very small paywall to get into their little masterminds and be able to be in this giant think tank. And all starts with the entry point of, reading their self-help book.
See, I think I'd be confused by it. Next topic. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, we'll do some random. You can still listen to Kanye's music despite how you feel about him as a person.
Yes.
Yeah.
McDonald's is the best. I do want to note that Andrew had a whole diatribe about Mein Kampf last time we had this question. So just throwing it out there.
No, I was arguing the same thing that they were, that you could definitely listen to it.
Well, you wanted it to be part of high school curriculum. Okay, McDonald's is the best fast food.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, McDonald's is classic. When you see the golden arches, you know you're going to get value with their value meal. And if you've ever had McDonald's abroad, I mean, it is far better than some of the steakhouses we have here in the United States. The things I like about McDonald's is with their franchise model, they really allow the franchisee to excel and do different types of things. And that's why it's the best. I mean, there's no better product than having the 69-cent French fries. I mean, are you kidding me? They also have the best coffee, better than Starbucks that they serve. And don't even get me started with their little burritos that they get, the breakfast burritos. I mean, that is like true heaven. By the way, I do truly believe that their sausage egg McMuffin cures any hangover.
Oh, that's a good point, though.
McDonald's, I mean, half the time you go there for an ice cream, it doesn't work, right? You can't order the ice cream. The next day you feel terrible after eating it. Wasn't there a guy that ate it for like 30 days straight? And I think he recently passed away, right? So not healthy compared to like Chick-fil-A, some of these other Taco Bell. I think it's just old school, maybe the first one in, maybe not necessarily the best, or maybe they got a little extra sugar or something in that sandwich to hook you.
You got a big point for Chick-fil-A there, Chris. Chick-fil-A is delicious.
Still split.
Oh, you landed on the other side?
Yeah,
What do you have against Chick-fil-A?
nothing. But McDonald's is the king.
I do tend to agree, but Chick-fil-A is delicious. Okay, society. Lawyer advertising is good for clients, the industry, and society as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, attorney advertising is definitely not good for the consumer. A lot of times the people, it's backed by PE. The messaging is false. It doesn't really paint the true picture of who the best attorney in the market is and who the top litigators are, because typically the litigators aren't the ones advertising because they don't have to advertise. They're getting referrals from the big spenders, the people that are just trying to dump money into the market. Yeah, it's not good for the consumers because they're not getting the best care, the best lawyer to represent their case.
What good is it to be a great lawyer if nobody knows who you are, and consumers are now savvy. They can research anybody that's advertising, and you have to put your best foot forward. And now lawyers are so hyper specialized that if there's a catastrophic event or somebody that was injured, they can actually be in front of them right away to help them faster, sooner, and better. And a lot of these firms that advertise have, honestly, they've had more success. They've had bigger budgets. They can go in and they have better systems, better serve people. They're built on bigger data. So they're in a better position to help people on a massive scale.
Yeah, but they refer out the big stuff anyway.
Arizona abs exception is a good thing for the legal industry.
Yes.
Yes.
Arizona is the first of many states to embrace the ab structure over the next few years.
Yes.
Wait, Arizona?
Yeah.
Well, they already have, so yes.
Is the first of many. There's going to be many more.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Firms differentiating by undercutting traditional fee structures is a good thing for clients in the industry.
No.
No.
Oh, I kind of wish you took. I want to hear that one. Okay.
I'll say yes. You want me to argue that?
Yeah, you got to argue it.
So the reason why I think it's good to have folks charge less is I think it gives better access to justice. And if we allow consumers to find their attorneys only based on their results and the metrics of how good they are at resolving those cases, rather than the lawyer who pays the most for the first ad on Google, lets them compete. And if they can compete by lowering their fees, and that's their entry point, then the consumer finds the better, more specialized lawyer without paying the premium of the absorbed overhead costs of the billboard lawyer that's dumping $20 million in a year there and to be the number one spot on Google.
Yeah, Seth Godin's got a quote. The problem with the race to the bottom is you just might win. You keep lowering your fees. You can't truly provide value to the consumer. You hired, the best expert witnesses and then work up a case to its true value. And And when you can't get value, can't get profit, you can't hire the best attorneys. You don't have the best technology. So it ends up being a disservice to the consumer that they may not know. But at the end of the day, you do need to generate profit. And a lot of times differentiation should come from other outlets and how you stand out, how you're distinctive. And it shouldn't be a price-oriented thing, because when you undercut by prices, it lends itself to productization and not customization, which customization is client first versus customer centric.
Any other points to make?
Yeah, I mean, I just think this is the problem, that if you allow people that have the biggest pocketbook to be able to dictate what fees are charged, and then all of a sudden they're answering to private equity now that they're having margins of 20% that they got to meet and treating clients like commodities, I think this is where we run into a problem. And people that are spending the most money are usually doing that kind of setup in one way or another. And then you become you're on the treadmill constantly. And I think if you can compete by charging less of a fee and keep your overhead low, I mean, more power to you. And you're probably a better solution for that client because you're better served to help them.
At the end of the day, when you go into a shop and you see two cameras and one's priced at $20 and $100, another one's priced at $100, typically the one that's priced at $100 has more features, has more things that it can do. And the same comes to lawyers and the best talent, retaining talent. They're better trial attorneys because they do provide more value to the consumer, and that's why they're there. So it comes back to value, and profit is a component of that.
Andrew, you're going back on the fence. That was some great points. You guys made great points. Okay, we're going to move into our last little segment. It's a meta game. It's a game inside the game. Actually, that's not a meta game. Meta would be about the game. Huh? It's a game. We're going to play a game. Okay, the name of the game. I'm going to give you a word. It is a completely fictional word. This word does not exist. I want you to define it. You don't have to argue. This isn't an arguing game. You're both just going to give me a definition for what you think this word means. And the word is Glimber.
Glimber is one of the phases of tantric sex where once you reach this level, you get a level of glamber where you actually are able to levitate and float a little bit. And that's, it's probably after the 23rd hour of tantric sex where you can get to that level. And, it's a feeling that you can only achieve if you are like a 25th level black mage in Dungeons and Dragons to be able to get that kind of power. So that's the glamber.
It's Glimber.
Yeah, I'm going to abstain and just roll it that way.
Well, no, that is correct. You both got the right definition for the word. Glimber is a level of tantric sex. That's right. Sorry, a face that you make when you reach a level of tantric sex. My mistake. Okay, well, great game, guys. I think at the end, Andrew and I both landed on the fence. Even though Andrew was too lazy to move his over, I got him. As always, enjoy your Verdantine Day this upcoming week. Make sure you understand who you're getting back. Obviously, that's a really important part. And, just keep that glimber on your face. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Devil's Advocate. Who do you think the winner was? Make sure to leave a comment to let us know. DM us for any ghoulish topics you think we should dare to debate. We'll catch you in the next one.